Thank you for staying for the AM News. In our first story, the minority in Parliament is warning it could take more than 21 years for all the Agenda 111 hospitals to be completed if the current funding arrangement is maintained. Now, each of the district hospitals is estimated to cost 17.5 million cedis. Deputy Ranking Member on the Health Committee and MP for Nabdam, Dr. Mark Kurt Nwani, says government is simply not committed to the project given its lackadaisical attitude.
If you come to Nabdam, my own district, where I hail from, recently the chief and people protested against the level of work that has been done over there. It is also at the foundation level. Just the footings have been laid, no filling has been done, and the contractor, I understand, was changed, but it is still the same thing. No work has been done in Nabdam, and I'm very, very sorry to say that the president has not been fair to the people of Nabdams, and the MPP government. We have to blame the MPP government for all this. So it is obvious that the government has no intention of finishing the Agenda 111 projects. If you look at it, that it will take 21 years, if they continue to allocate this level of resources to it per year. And what we are going to do is that come 2024, with the new government, they are going to inherit uncompleted projects. And that is very unfortunate. Yeah, uncompleted projects. It happened when the NDC left power. They had about 52 uncompleted projects, but now we are going to have almost getting to 200 uncompleted projects if we continue with this level of allocation or this amount of money that is allocated for the project. Government initiated the Agenda 111 initiative to address infrastructure deficiencies in the health sector and contribute to the improvement of health outcomes in the country by ensuring increased access to quality health services. And he also quoted an amount of 189.34 million being the amount that has been spent so far on the Agenda 111. If we recall, about 2 years ago when the government started this Agenda 111, initially they promised to finish in a year, then 1.5 years, and now we don't know when they are going to finish. And with this allocation, it means that out of the 100 million that was initially allocated to it, they've added only 89.34 million in the past year. And if you know the estimated cost of each of the projects, and that is 17.5 million Ghana cedis per one. That is according to the 2018 budgets, or 2020 budgets, or 2021 budgets. According to 2021 budget, each should cost about 17.5 million. And you total the estimate for 101, then we are talking about 1.9 billion Ghana cedis. And with this level of allocation, it means that we're going to take 21 years to complete the Agenda 111 projects. And so that is not good enough.
Well, the minority is also asking private entities to keep off the Saglemi project if they are approached by government to buy it off. Member of Parliament's Work and Housing Committee, Andrew Dari Chiwite, says a future NDC government will complete the project with state funds and any efforts at privatizing Saglemi will be challenged.
The project that we have done You visited that site. You saw the level that we got to. This government allowed their party boys to go in and pick the doors. They picked the glasses. They picked everything. Sink. They removed the sink of the building. All these things are what is going to increase the cost of the project. That project, if well done, should serve Ghanaians. That is why he's the president. He should be able to find resources to complete that project. He should not go about saying that it will be expensive. So we should abandon it. Is that the idea? If it will be costly to complete the project, should we leave it to rot? The level that we got to, as a president, we have used taxpayers' money to build houses up to the level of just furnishing. Then you tell me it will be expensive to complete it, so we drop it and go and start something afresh. Well, I thank God President Mama came clear and told Ghanaians that for him, if he comes to power, he will continue with uncompleted projects and complete them. And so for us, I know this project that they have cut short with, even if they go ahead to do it, they can't complete it. I'm assuring Ghanaians that if we come back to power, NDC comes up to power with President Mama as our president, we will complete that project for the people of Ghana to use, and we will complete the settlement project again. And that is why we have warned that any investor, any private investor that will show interest in buying the settlement housing project, the person should think twice, because that project is not for sale. We must complete it with government money.
Now, the campaign team of NPP flag bearer hopeful Alan Kyerematen is confident of restoring the party's dominance in the Ashanti region should their candidate emerge leader of the party for the next election. In the 2020 election, the NDC increased their votes from 23 to 25.5%. Most members of parliament and party executives in the region are supporting Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, but Member of Parliament for Botiano English Yamanfo Sylvester Tete says it is not a true reflection of the region's stance.
It is not true, it cannot be true. Put all the MPs from Ashanti region, 46 of them, put all the regional executives, 17 of them together, they are a fraction of a percentage of over 30,000 popular voters in Ashanti region. So if a vice president appears at a place, obviously party people will have to welcome him. He's a sitting vice president of our party, but when he goes to the post, he's not a sitting vice president, he's a candidate we are looking for. And not just a candidate, but a flag bearer to becoming president. In Ashanti region, in the last elections, 2016, Anado made over 76%. The subsequent elections, 2020, it dropped to 71%. NDC made almost 700,000 votes from Ashanti region. That poses the biggest threat to our party going forward. And the biggest threat for this party's success in 2024 is the threat of our party. And you need to fight their party head on. So go to the market. If your party executive is a party delegate, I'm saying that the popularity of Alan Kyerematen in the Ashanti region was tested when we did the Drew So walk. The numbers that turned out, we have not had that number in so many years. So it tells you the popularity of Alan Kyerematen. Everybody should put his popularity out there. As a party delegate, they are mobilized, they are organized, because the leader is coming, come and meet him. But those that you don't organize, that organically, they come out of their own to cheer you, to welcome you, to believe in your message, those are the people we are targeting. For elections. For us, two-tier elections, the super delegate and then the November 4th election. For super delegate, it's a foregone conclusion that 5 people will be selected, and obviously Alan Kyerematen is one of the 5 that will be selected. So yes, we have August 26th super delegate. We are clear in our minds that we are part of it. That does not make you a flag bearer of a party. What makes you a flag bearer of a party is the November 4th elections that will make you the flag bearer of a party, and that is the ultimate prize we are targeting. And we are convinced that come November 5th, Alan Kyerematen will be the flag bearer of our party, and we are convinced about that.
About 7 of those seeking to lead the NPP are from the Ashanti region. That makes it a hotbed for almost all of the aspirants. Do you think that your candidate has an upper hand over the others?
Well, I think that delegates in Ashanti region, and for that matter, the generality of voters in Ashanti region, knows who can best be the leader of our party. If indeed the psyche of Ashanti region is to have an Ashanti representing us in the next primaries, obviously they will pick one, and the one among the 7 obviously is Alan Kyerematen. No doubt about that. It is clear, it is of no doubt that the heartbeat of our party is in Ashanti region. When you win 80% of the popular vote from Ashanti region, you are president, and you can win the presidency in this country with just 3 or 4 regions. with 3 or 4 regions. The vote from, if you make 2 million votes from Ashanti, you cancel 10 more regions, and that sets you up for the presidency. And we are clear. Alan Tremantin is from Ashanti region and Central region. The wife is from Eastern region. 3 important regions backing the candidate into the difficult elections for the MPP. Obviously, it's Alan Kojo Tremantin.
Now, in our next story, 6 police officers have sustained injuries following a clash with tricycle riders at the premises of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. The riders pelted stones, destroying the windscreens of 2 cars owned by KMA staff. A military team had to intervene to salvage the rioting situation. And Abachi Adam has more in this report.
The aggrieved tricycle riders besieged the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly in an attempt to retrieve their seized tricycles. Their action was fiercely resisted by the police. This angered the riders, resulting in a clash with the police. 6 of the officers sustained injuries and are currently receiving treatment at the KMA clinic. The assembly called in military intervention, who managed to disperse the mob and arrested 12 tricycle riders. Communications Director for KMA, Efia Kunedu, says the commercial tricycle riders earlier blocked the Swami stretch leading to the Central Business District.
They came to forcibly take the tricycles from the yard. And that is where the resistance happened, because that is not how it is done. And so if we allow you to forcibly take something off, then what is our essence? It was because the people misbehave. And so you could have asked why it is here. And then we also do not know you. So what is the grounds, or how sure are we that the tricycle is for you, Mr. A or Mr. B? When the police saw the mob, they also came in to let them know that they cannot take the items from them. So that is when they started beating up. I think they ganged up against some of the police officers, so they beat them up. So if you go to the hospital, you see various injuries that they have sustained. So we realized that the situation was getting out of hand. One, they were not ready to comply with any law. They were ready to hurt anybody that came their way. And they just didn't allow law or order to work. So that's how we have to call in the military. And then they came in, I think there were about 7 or so. They came into the space, the crowd, and they have left, as you can see.
The KMA says it remains resolute in restricting the operation of commercial tricycles in the city centre.
As a city, we will have to. We are continuing. It's for 1 week, and then it will continue again depending on how the state of affairs at the end of the week. But as we speak, it's a week-long exercise, and we're going to continue the exercise. We are working with the police and the military. So if they are coming here lawfully, like you have entered, nobody's going to do anything to them. But if they are going to come to us in the manner that they came this afternoon, we also have to meet them and make sure that the law works to the latter.
Reporting for Joy News, Nana Boache Dankwe Yadom, Kumasi.
Now, government is expected to engage the services of a contractor to expand some identified storm drains in the whole municipality of the Volta region to curb perennial flooding. According to the Volta Regional Director of the National Disaster Management Organization, Ivy Amewuga, an assessment report has been submitted to the appropriate agency awaiting approval and execution. She was speaking to the media on the sidelines of the donation of relief items to the flood victims by the Rotary Club of Hull.
A July 8, 2023 flood left ravaging effects on Hull and surrounding communities in the whole municipality of the Volta region. People's investment, personal belongings and food items were swept away by the flood, recorded to be the biggest experienced within the last 2 decades. Some buildings in the affected areas were severely damaged. The National Disaster Management Organization was unable to perform its mandated duties of providing relief items to cushion victims in the interim. Ivy Amewuga is the Volta Regional NADMO Director.
We have appealed that disaster management is not I say it's a collective effort. So we don't leave it to NADMO alone because the numbers are very huge. You're looking at about over 1,000 victims. We don't want to go with what we have and then it will start hearing that you have left Kojo out, you've left Mensa out.
This informed a decision by the Rotary Club of Ho to mobilize some items to support NADMO to provide for the victims. 75 bags of rice, 250 bottles of oil and 120 packs of soap were handed over to the organization for onward distribution to the victims.
We witnessed a flood in Ho, which we have never seen before. I have been in Ho for the past 10 years. I've never seen anything like that before. So when we saw that Rotary being a service organization with to help people, we decided to come together to see how best we can put this together. So we solicited for funds from Rotarians, non-Rotarians all over the district, and we gathered some money, and together we put together the items to give to the flood victims, and that's what we've just done this morning.
As the flood happened, some people, their food items and stuff got damaged. So sending this item to them will be of great importance to them, to help them to sustain them for some time as they get back to their normal situations. So these items are very much important to them.
However, the size of some main storm drains and culverts in Ho was identified as a contributing factor to the perennial floods. Technocrats and stakeholders suggested an expansion of the drains to prevent annual flooding. Ivy Amauga said reports have been sent to the appropriate government agencies awaiting approval.
You know that for the expansion and whatever, government have to release the money. So the paperwork needs to be done for such actions to continue. So we have tabled in the reports after the tour, and we are hoping that very soon we will see some action commencing on the affected roads and places.
So we heard about Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News. Oh.
And that's our recap of the news for the morning. But stay with us. We dig into the papers up and next with Afeo Money, former president of the Ghana Journalists Association. We'll be right back.